Really, really. What's up, YouTube? Boy, back once again with another sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some football, Houston Texans football. Today we're gonna really talk about who is more beneficial to the Houston Texans, Stefon Diggs or Cooper Kupp. Really? We're gonna break down before we get there, like been telling you before, man. If you're liking the content, man, make sure you're liking the channel. Make sure you're watching all the videos. Make sure you comment all the videos, you liking all the videos, you sharing all the videos on all social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, any type of social media platform you use. Make sure you share them same social media platforms. Also, follow me on social media as well. The link in the description below. We still try to get this channel growing and growing and growing. And I can't do that without y'all help. So I know y'all know what that means. Y'all know what y'all need to do. I need you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend, to tell some more friends so they could tell some friends, so they could tell some more friends and put them on game with the channels. I really, really appreciate that. We got to get the channel growing and growing. I really, really appreciate that. So, I need y'all help. So, let's talk about it. So, the reports are that the Los Angeles Rams are either going to cut Cooper Kupp or end up trading him. But if they end up trading him, they're talking about paying the majority of his salary because, if I'm not mistaken, he's due to make 28 million, close to $29 million this year, and nobody's going to pay that for a 30-plus-year-old receiver coming off of an injury. So we'll have injury concerns. So they're talking about either cutting him, because if they cut him, they could save a lot of money, or paying some of his salary and end up trading him away. And a lot of Texan fans have been talking about, hey, we need to go out there and get Cooper Kupp. I see it all on Twitter. I see it all on Instagram. I see it all in Texan spaces. I see it everywhere that Texan fans are talking about bringing in Cooper Kupp. And the only reason why I feel like Texas fans even want to even entertain Cooper Kupp is because we hired Nick Caley to be the offensive coordinator. Nick Caley is the Houston Texans' new offensive coordinator for the last 2 seasons. He was a Titans coach, and last year the passing game coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. Cooper Kupp, who's played his whole career with the Los Angeles Rams. And I guess people feel like because of that connection, and you could bring in Cooper Kupp, he can help teach this offense to the receivers and to the running backs and to the other staff, anybody we draft or bring in. He can help. He could be that veteran presence, that veteran receiver on the team, and help the team understand the concept of this offense. Because if Cooper Kupp would have played with the Los Angeles Chargers or the Las Vegas Raiders or the Arizona Cardinals or the Seattle Seahawks, wouldn't nobody be talking about bringing in no Cooper Kupp. If we wouldn't hire Nick Caley, if we would have hired Adam from the Green Bay Packers, if we hired Jeff Nixon or Brian Johnson or Doug Peters or Chip Kelly as our offensive coordinator, wouldn't nobody be talking about bringing in no Cooper Kupp. So I'm trying to figure out the real infatuation about bringing in Cooper Kupp, like a guy that's 31 years old, when we already have another 30-year-old receiver that more than likely will be on the roster. It's not concrete that he's going to be on the roster, but more than likely he would end up being on the roster. So there's no real reason to have two 30-plus year old receivers on the team. So which one is more beneficial to have on the team? Let's talk about it, because the receiver I'm talking about is Stefon Diggs. Now, Stefon Diggs this past season only played 8 games for the Houston Texans. We know he's 31 years old, coming off an ACL injury. He was targeted 64 times, had 47 catches off of 64 targets, had 496 yards, averaging 10.6 yards a catch, with 3 touchdowns. He caught 73% of the passes thrown his way. Average targets a game was 8 targets a game, and average catches a game was 5.8 catches a game. So in 8 games, he was on pace to make 1,000 yards. Probably looking at talking about 1,000 yards and like 7 touchdowns. From a season average, just averages. That's what Stefon Diggs again. We all know had the torn ACL week 8 against the Indianapolis Colts. And missed the season, missed the rest of the season. Now Cooper Kupp, again, 31 years old, just like Stefon Diggs, played 12 games this season, was targeted 100 times, caught 67 catches off of 100 targets. That's 67%. Had 710 yards, averaging 10.6 yards a catch, the exact amount of yards as Stefon Diggs. 6 touchdowns, which is 3 more than Stefon Diggs, but also played a couple more games. To average targets 8.3 targets a game, average catches, 5.8 catches a game. So they're roughly the same player. They're giving you the same amount of production. Now, Stefon Diggs caught, from a percentage standpoint, caught 73%. Cooper Kupp caught 67%. Now, again, he was also targeted more. So, again, those also lead for either opportunities for more catches and also more non catches. But their average per catch, the exact same. Their targets per game, like Cooper Kupp was a point 0.3 more than him. And their average catches a game were the exact, both 5.8 average catches per game. Again, 3 more touchdowns, but also played in 4 more games than him as well. And again, we all know that how the offense worked, especially with Bobby Slowick, how we weren't able to throw the football. And like I said, CJ only had 20 touchdowns in the entirety of the game. And that has a lot to do with the offensive line and also the way Bobby ran plays. But I'm looking at that, and I don't think that people really understand Stefon Diggs. And what I mean by that is Stefon Diggs, why I keep on saying that he more than likely will be on this roster, is because no matter what happens with Stefon Diggs, he counts $16 million against the Texas cap. No matter if he's a Houston Texan, no matter if he's a Dallas Cowboy, if he's a Cleveland Brown, if he's playing with the Los Angeles Raiders, if he's playing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if he's playing with the New York Jets, it doesn't matter where Stefon Diggs plays this season. He counts against the Houston Texans cap $16 million regardless, no matter where he's playing the season. That does not mean he gets $16 million from the Texans. We've already paid him. It's like if you pay something on your credit card and you move the money, like, hey, I buy something on my credit card today, but hey, I pushed the bill off to the future. That's what we did. We gave him his money last year, and we basically pushed that credit card payment to the future. That future is now $16 million. So I've been saying this for the last month or so. It benefits the Texans to sign Stefon Diggs to a longer term contract, 3 years or so like that, and stretch out the money that you give him. Therefore, you can lower that cap hit. You can make that cap hit from 16 million to 14 million to 13 million to 12 million. If the Texans are lucky and they're able to do real good math, real good cap gymnastics, able to get the 10 or less, that would be phenomenal if they're able to save $6 million from that. I'm thinking anywhere between 4 to 12 is why I end up thinking that we end up saving. I mean, we can get that cap hit from 16 either down to 14 or to 12, somewhere in that span is where I feel like we'll end up signing him at. So we're able to get that cap number down, which is huge because that's what, $5 million, $7 million. I'm not $7 million, $5 million, $4 million. That's a player. If you get the $5 million, that's actually could be 2 players, or at the very least, that's money you can give to an offensive lineman or to a safety or to a linebacker, wherever else you want, a defensive tackle, wherever else you want to throw that money around. If you can lower that cap hit, that's why it makes more sense for Stefon Diggs, because production wise, they're the same player. And again, I know Cooper Kupp had the Triple Crown a couple years ago, won Offensive Player of the Year, also won a Super Bowl MVP. But since then, he's played in 2020. That was in 2021. In 2022, played 9 games, 75 catches, 812 yards, 5 touchdowns. 2023, played in 12 games, 59 catches, 737 yards, 5 touchdowns. Last year, played 12 games, 67 catches, 710 yards, 6 touchdowns. So since the year that he played and played the full season, won the Triple Crown, Super Bowl MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Since that season, he's played 3 seasons, has played 9 games, 12 games, and 12 games. His career high in that span, 75 catches, 812 yards, and that was the first season in 2022. Other than that, he's went down in catches, down in yards. Now, last year he did go up 1 touchdown because the other 2 seasons he had 5 touchdown seasons. This past season he had 6 touchdowns, and not to mention he didn't play in the playoffs this year. The Rams played 2 playoff games. They played wild card game, won that game, and then played in the divisional round. Cooper Kupp was not available in either game. Another 31-year-old receiver. So both Stefon Diggs and Cooper Kupp, both 31 years old, both production-wise have similar production. And both of them, well, not both of them, Cooper Kupp has injury concerns and injury history and wasn't available for the Rams in the playoffs. Stefon Diggs has never really been hurt, and now it's coming off of ACL injury, which again he'll be 32 years in November. So you're talking about a 32-year-old receiver with ACL coming off ACL injury, and if I'm not mistaken, Cooper Kupp turns 32 in July, either June or July. So he'll be 32 when the season starts himself. So both of them in the middle of the season will be 32 years old. Both coming off of injuries, or well, one coming off of a major injury, the other one coming off of injury concerns and just that whole thing, which again is part of the Texans' problem offensively, outside of the offensive coordinator, play calling, and offensive line, is the receivers that we've always went the last 2 years that we went to the playoffs. Our best receiver is Nico Collins, and it's been Nico Collins and everybody else because we didn't have Tank Dell, we didn't have Stefon Diggs, we didn't have whoever. We just needed help at the receiver position. So you're talking about two guys that are 30 plus years old, and both of them weren't available for their teams in the playoffs last year. If in a perfect world, you would rather move on from both and you just want to get younger and faster. However, Stefon Diggs counts against your cap regardless. So, in what world does it make sense to go out and get Cooper Kupp for any capacity? Don't matter if the Rams paying half his salary, no matter if the Rams paying half his salary, or if you have to sign him as a free agent and you're paying a brand new contract. What sense does it make to pay him and also have Stefon Diggs pay and be on your cap regardless? And it definitely don't make no sense to have both of them on your team, to have two 30-plus-year-old receivers on your team at the same time with injury concerns and injury histories. Both of them were not available for their teams this past playoff run. So it doesn't make sense to have both of them on the roster. It makes zero sense to have both of them on the roster. So you're going to have one. And in what world does it make sense when one, no matter if he's on your roster or not, he's going to count against your cap to let him go to bring in another guy? Because of the familiarity with the offense. Like I said last time, like we got to stop this whole Nick Caley and Sean McVay offense. He's only with Sean McVay for 2 seasons. So it's not like he's been. It'd been different if Nick Caley was with Sean McVay for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Then that's a completely different. That's a completely different story. But he spent 8 years with New England, and then spent the last 2 years with the Rams. He was with the Rams after Cooper Kupp won the Triple Crown. Like 2 years after Cooper Kupp won the Triple Crown. Actually, Cooper Kupp won the Triple Crown in 2021. Nick Caley became on the Rams staff in 2023. That's 2 seasons after Cooper Kupp had his best season. So he wasn't even in the building when Cooper Kupp had his best season, had his miraculous season when he won the Triple Crown and won Offensive Player of the Year and won the Super Bowl MVP. He wasn't even on the staff then. So why are we bringing in and talking about bringing in Cooper Kupp? Why are we trying to entertain Cooper Kupp? I think that him and Stefon Diggs have the same production. Now, if Cooper Kupp production was vastly better than Stefon Diggs, that'd been a different conversation. But when I look at their numbers and I'm like, okay, Stefon Diggs has a better catch percentage, but again, I do think that also has something to do with one, you do have a gunslinger and Matt Stafford as the quarterback for one, and for two, Stefon Diggs wasn't able to play the entirety of the season to get those 100 targets. But again, he caught 47 catches off of 64 targets, while Cooper Kupp caught 67 catches off 100 targets. Cooper Kupp 67% catch radius. Stefon Diggs 73% catch percentage thrown his way. But like when you look at the yards per catch, both of them are averaging 10.6. Both of them averaging 8 targets. Cooper Kupp is slightly above 8.3. Stefon Diggs was right at 8. But they both average 5.8 catches a game. They both average the exact same amount of catches per game. They're both 31 years old. I mean, they have a lot of similarities. The only difference is that one, Stefon Diggs, already counts against your cap regardless. And the chemistry, and it seems like he kind of knows with CJ and stuff like that. Now, him signing with the Texans is completely on him, because if any team offers him $16, $17 million, he's going to go. because I don't see the Texans signing him for $16 million. I don't see if the Texans sign him, it's only going to be for $16 million. Like that's the most. They're not going to go over $16 million because they need to either they need to find a way to stretch out their money. So you try because what you're going to try to do, you're going to try to lower the cap hit. Now, what you could end up doing is actually signing him and giving him more money, but you stretch out, and then you'll end up putting yourself in a situation in future years, talking about maybe like in 2029 he's still on the books, but it's probably like a $7 million cap hit or something similar to that. That's a little bit dangerous because again, Will Anderson contract will be coming to effect then. Obviously, CJ, you're talking about paying Stingley this season. Uh, who knows? Nico's probably at that time. Nico's probably going to be getting an extension. The way Nico's playing, Nico's probably going to be looking at getting those $30 million per year. So you kind of want to some of that could be slightly a little bit dangerous on the cool. Like to be completely honest, that some of that could be slightly a little bit dangerous. But in the grand scheme of things, and for the most part, what it seems like is that for the grand scheme of things, what it seems like the Houston Texans probably would end up doing is bringing in Stefon Diggs, and I think that's probably the best move. But not Nick Siri, but Stefon Diggs, if he can get more money elsewhere, he's going to take that most money elsewhere, and then he's going to count against your cap. And so that's probably the reason why I feel like they're going to try their hardest to bring him back. Now the thing is, don't let him test free agency because since he's your own free agent, we can sign Stefon Diggs today. Like we can get a notification today. Hey, Stefon Diggs is re-signed with the Houston Texans. I don't think that's going to happen, but we can get that notification today. Like as I'm recording this video, the notification becoming done. Stefon Diggs is re-signed with the Houston Texans, and that actually benefits the Houston Texans more than benefits Stefon Diggs. But Stefon Diggs could be looking at, I'm 31, about to be 32, coming off an ACL injury. I like the city of Houston. I like this team. Like, we got a good quarterback at CJ. We just hired a brand new offensive coordinator. All we got to do is, fix the offensive line a little bit. We ain't got to worry about Bobby Slow because we got a brand new OC. Just fix the offensive line a little bit. Hey, I know the defense is going to handle their business. They're going to force turnovers. They're going to get to the quarterback, stuff like that. Hey, I can go out there. I can still get my targets out here while being the number one target. I can still get my targets, still get my numbers out here. Hey, we could win out here in Houston. We can really win out here in Houston. This might be a good situation for me. Now again, he can always go chase a bag, but he can't look at it like that and be like, hey, like I said, I'm 32 years old, come off this injury. People might not want to pay for that. So I could just stay here in Houston and potentially win and be in contention to potentially win a championship right here in the city of Houston. So I could definitely see him staying. And me personally, I just think it makes more sense for the Houston Texans to retain Stefon Diggs than go out there and get Cooper Kupp. Like, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I'll holla.